Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Caroline Turner, and I am going to be doing a series of little films. Now, I've done this before, and in the last one, I looked at how we can improve targets, how we use targets with teams. And in this series, I want to look at things that we can do from a leadership side to develop a team. So, today, right now, if I need my glasses because I can't see a thing without them, I will pop them on. I've got some slides to my side. The slides will be appearing somewhere here in post-production, but we're going to film everything live. Why don't teams do what we ask? Now, to me, this is such a big one. And I was very lucky in my career. I was taught what I'm going to share with you today when I first really started in the industry as a manager. So I learned to do this in about 1994, maybe 95. Anyway, it was a long time ago. And it's always been such an important part of how I've worked and how I get teams to then work with me, be committed to what we're doing. And we're going to talk about different things like commitment, praise, dealing with behaviour we don't want to see. It's a really important one. But today, why don't they do what we ask? It can be very frustrating. So I'm going to share with you this simple little communication skill. I don't see it as a trick. It's not manipulating. Manipulating? Is that even a word? Manipulation? I can't even speak now. Start again. Manipulating. That's the word. It's just about being better with how we communicate. So I'm going to share with you what I've taught for salon owners and spa owners from around the world for many, many years. Why don't they do what we ask? So, what I would say, if you can, grab a piece of paper and a pen, because we're going to do something in a minute, if you wish to. But for me, it's a little game, a little exercise that just smacks home what it is we need to be doing. And by following this simple method of communication, you can just wipe out frustration. It's brilliant and it's so simple. So if you can, grab some pen and paper. If you need to, pause me in some weird position, and then we can have a go at it together. So why don't they do what we ask them to do? Well, first of all, what I want to cover, I suppose, is we will have habits that if we've been in the industry for many, many years and we've worked our way through our levels to the point where we've then decided we want our own business, and you're watching this as a salon owner or as a manager, someone who's taken a step going further in their career. We have habits. Everything we do that is automatic is a habit. I am gesturing with my hands, a form of communication that I learned when I was teeny tiny. I don't think about how my hands now move. They just do. And they do that to try and emphasize a point when I'm communicating. But I'm not here thinking, oh, move your hand, move your hand. It can just do it. Anything we can do that is automatic is a habit. If you can tie your shoelaces, drive a car, cut hair, wax eyebrows, anything that is easy is a habit. And that makes part of what we train online with our courses, how to build habits, because we need client habits, we need team habits, we need business habits. And communicating, and what we're going to cover now, is going to be a communication habit. But in habits, it also means that we will have developed ways of doing things. And it's very easy to fall into the habit of thinking that, well, my way is, of course, the best way of doing something. And that can be really frustrating if I don't teach everyone else what my habits are. They're going to form their own. And whether it be a simple little task like, say, folding the towels, if we have a certain way of doing it, There's nothing to say that that way is the only way, which of course is my way. There's other ways of doing things, and sometimes we will have to be flexible. But getting something done the way we would like it to be done, or it needs to be done, is what we're going to look at. So, pens at the ready. Hope you've got them there. We're going to look at the missing link, and the missing link. Oh, look, I've got my little clicker. Right. So the first thing I want to cover, I'm going to read, so I will need my glasses. Get specific. Simple little thing, makes a world of difference to how we work and what we get done through others. Non-specific. A non-specific behaviour or action, activity, is something that is an idea, image, opinion, assumption, or vague. Something that is vague, assumptuous, an opinion, an image, or an idea of behaviour, action, activity. That is what non-specific is. It is only present in the mind of the person. So I may have a specific way of doing something, but if I don't give specific information, people will have to work out what they think it is, because I have been vague, assumptuous, had an opinion, an image, or an idea about an activity, an action, or a behaviour. When we are specific about behaviours, it is described action, a described activity that can be seen or heard. It is a clear picture of behaviour, activity, action. Let's look at some examples. So this is where you need your pen and paper. I'm going to read the examples to you, and what I'd like you to do, and do it, it's a bit of fun, but it can be a real like, whoa moment. I'm going to give you some examples, and what I'd like you to do will be just put something like an S if you think it's specific, and an N if you think it's non-specific. Perhaps write down the numbers so you know as we go back through, or you can write them down if you wish to, if you're fast at writing. So here we go. I'm going to go from camera to screen so I can read them so I don't forget any. So, which are specific, non-specific, behaviours, actions, activities? Julie has a bad attitude to retailing. Specific or non-specific? Julie has a bad attitude to retailing. Paul is often late for work. Sharon filled out the end of day report. The team is very loyal to the salon. The team worked hard. Can you clean the reception? The promotion was posted on Facebook. John is an excellent stylist. Julie completed the holiday form. She is so lazy. The client completed the form. The targets are on the staff wall. I need the old stock taken off the shelves. Julie asked questions about the promotion. Please fold the towels. Print out the pages for tomorrow's appointments. When dealing with a complaint, Julie is so calm. I need you to bleach the cups. Right, let's go through them. So, specific or non-specific? When they come up, somewhere around me, blue will mean it's a specific, and a red is non-specific. And I'll explain why as we go through. Julie has a bad attitude to retailing. Well, what's bad? What I consider to be bad and what you consider to be bad may be completely different things. So it's an opinion, an assumption. It's non-specific. Paul is often late for work. Well, what's late? It's vague. Sharon filled out the end of day report. I can see it, it's there, the report is in front of me. That's a specific statement. The team is loyal to the salon. Well, what's loyal? It's very assumptuous. It's not a true statement. It's non-specific. The team worked hard. Well, what's hard? Your opinion to mine, to the next person's, might be completely different. Can you clean the reception? What's clean? Do they need to take the phone off the thing and clean that and the keyboard and take everything off the top and polish the desk? Or can they just sort of, put the paperwork away that's sitting out? It's not specific. The promotion is posted on Facebook. Yep, there it is. I can see it. That's a specific. John is an excellent stylist. What's excellent? Julie completed the holiday form. There it is. Form is done. It's a specific one. She is so lazy. Yep, non-specific. What is lazy? The client completed the form. That's a specific. The targets are on the staff wall. I know the targets are pinned on that wall. A specific statement. I need the old stock taking off the shelf. Well, what's old? See, if I gave that as an instruction to a team member, I might mean the stock that's just been discontinued by a certain supplier. They may think what is old is anything that's been there for more than 2 weeks. It's not specific. Julie asked questions about the promotion. Well, I can hear her asking, and I know then that that's a specific statement. Please fold the towels. How do you want them folded? I'm going to have to work that out and come up with my own image, my own idea, unless I'm told specifically. So please fold the towels is a non-specific request. Print out the appointment page. Well, that one is now, I think when I said this just now, I added today or tomorrow, I added something on here, which made it specific. I'll have to rewind, or replay me. I'll edit it in. I had on my piece of paper here, my printout, my presentation, that's the word, that it was print out the appointment page. If I said print out the appointment page, that will be non-specific. But the moment I add in exactly which page to print, tomorrow's page, then I make it a specific statement. When dealing with a complaint, Julie is so calm. Well, again, what's calm? It's non-specific. And then the final one, and I picked this one for a particular reason. I need you to bleach the cups. Now, many, many years ago, I was teaching this to a group of salon owners. And there was a gentleman there who'd been in business for about 15 years. And we'd just done this exact exercise. And obviously, I don't know what you've written on yours, yes or no's, or if you just listened instead of writing down. But for him, he went through and he answered and realised that I've not been specific with my team. And he quite literally finished, put his pen down, put his hands on the table, and then started headbanging the table. Now, as now, I was slightly sort of like, oh God, what is he doing? And when he finished headbanging the table, he sat up and he said, all these years, I've got so frustrated because I'll ask them to do something and I'll come along and they'll be doing something and it's just like, what are you doing? All these years, I thought it was them, but actually it was me. And he then gave us an example. And a few weeks earlier, he needed his cups. He had like a bone white china. And when you have lots of coffee and tea in white china, it stains. And so he'd asked one of the team members, can you bleach the cups? And so off went this young person, 19, 20 years of age, and went into the staff area where they kept all their teas and coffees and the cups, and got all of them out and started doing the job. And in walked the owner, to find that every single surface you can imagine, the shelves, the chairs, the tabletop, the sink, everywhere was covered with cups. And there stood this young person with a rag or some form of cloth, putting in bleach into every single cup. You all right? And he said, I stood at the door and she's like, what are you doing? You just have to put them in a bowl, put some water in the bowl and put a bit of bleach in it. Then just wash them up and then rinse them. But what have you done? And he explained how he then huffed and puffed and he started, put them all in here so that he could clear the space. And he sat there and he realised, I didn't tell him to put them in the sink in a bowl of water. I made the assumption that he would get that. He would know that. He would have an image, an opinion of the best way to bleach the cups was to put them in a hot bowl of soapy water with a bit of bleach and wash them up. But he didn't. And so that young person had to make a decision on how to bleach the cups. He'd done nothing wrong. But because the owner had an image, a habit of how he would do it, he ended up getting frustrated and upset with that team member. For him, this little exercise made a massive difference to how he communicated. And anytime any of us then walk somewhere, whether it be how towels are folded, how they've addressed someone, how they've answered the phone, how they've booked something, whatever it is that's not been done quite as we want, we have two things. One, to understand that there are different ways of doing it, and if it's done and it's worked, that's okay. It doesn't have to be our way. If I do want something being done a particular way, then when I communicate, I must be specific. If you want the cups bleaching, tell them to put them in a bowl with some hot water. And if we don't, then we cannot get frustrated with them. It will be because we have not been specific. Now, I'm going to check my little thing over here because I think I want to try and keep these ones really short. So, I'm going to wrap this one up. Things don't have to be done the way that we want them to be done. There are different ways. Habits means that we can get stuck in a way of doing something. So not getting frustrated when people have different ways of doing it. We need to just be aware of that. But if we do need something to be done, make sure you speak with specific terms. In the next video, dealing with unwanted behaviour. Now, to me, this is such an important one. If I see something that I do not want in my business, then that needs to be dealt with, and quickly. We must never, ever allow unwanted behaviour to be left unattended. Now, as we'll go through in the next video, if someone is new, we have a different way of dealing with it. But if someone knows better, then we need to have a little chat. So in the next one, how to deal with unwanted behaviour within the team. Wherever you are, I hope you have a fabulous day. I really do hope that was an interesting little insight, and I do hope in the nicest possible way, if you got any of those ones non-specific and you didn't get them right, then just make a point. Be aware of how you communicate. Until next time, ciao, ciao. Have a great day.